Hello, Just Too Good here, back on the review, and today we're reviewing the LEGO Star Wars 2015 Advent Calendar. It has 292 pieces, an undisclosed amount of minifigures. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, and it retails for $40 in the United States. Now, how I'm going to do this review is I'm going to open up each day one by one, and you guys are going to see the reveals by that way. So let's start with day one, or let's start by opening this thing first. Alright, so nice box as always with these LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendars. Very colorful and lots of detailing all around. The back shows a little bit of spoilers. I don't want to look at it too much. And to open this up, you just had to cut the little tape and then flap it open like this. So you can see they have all 24 of the days. And on the bottom, they have a little scene. Looks like it might be going on an Endor right here. I don't even know. But let's open each of them up, starting with day one. All right, so day one is... Oh, look at that. So day one is Jabba's sail barge, a very micro build of that. Cute little build. I mean, you could kind of see what it represents if you're a Star Wars fan. And I also like how they use these little orange pieces up top. But that's it for this build. Day two is... This is interesting. Alright, so day two brings us the Sarlacc pit. Pretty simple build, but I still kind of like this miniature because I don't think they've done a miniature of this before. So this is kind of clever. I like how it came out. All on this 4x4 platform, but that's it for the build. Day three is... Oh, this is interesting. So what day three brings is an LIN demolition mech droid used by the Jawas with the sandcrawler, and it's a simple build. And it's not really, it's a little bit to scale, I guess, minifigure scale. But I mean, it's not exactly accurate to the actual thing found in the movies, but it's still a pretty sweet build. So that's it for this little build for day three. Day four, let's open this sucker up. Yes, finally some minifigures. So day four brings us a Jawa minifigure. So glad they included this guy in, because these were found in the big Sandcrawler set, which this is the same exact version as that. But that set is so expensive, even though it looks really good, I don't plan on getting it, so I'm glad that I could finally get this minifigure right here. Love the little printing on the face, and that's it for this minifigure. Alright, day five, let's see what's in here. And it is, ooh, a little mini sandcrawler. Day five brings us this little mini sandcrawler. Very cute and simple build, not anything too interesting here, but still fine for what it is. Day six. And ooh, this is kind of cool. So day six brings us this little weapon rack. Pretty useful build, not just for Star Wars fans, but just for if you want some useful pieces. There's some great pieces here, like this little plant piece right here in olive, and this little bow and arrow. So pretty neat build, and that's it for that. There's even a little blaster on the side. Now let's go on to day seven. Day seven, let's take a look at this sucker. And ooh, it's a little mini Ewok Village. Day 7 gives us this little Ewok Village, which is a pretty cute build. I kind of like how that came out. It's not anything too elaborate, but it's something, you know, that they haven't really done a mini build of before in my memory. So it's just more, I guess, variety. Day 8, let's see what we got. And, ooh, look, it's a little Ewok. So the Ewok that you get here is an Ewok Warrior, and what's really cool is this one only came in that big Ewok Village set, another expensive set that looks really cool, but I don't plan spending any money on. So it's just like how they include the Jawa, where, you know, it's from a direct-to-consumer set, but it's easy to get right here. And I really like that because it adds a little bit more value to this Advent. But that's really how the little headpiece or whatever goes over the torso like that. All right. Day 9, let's see what we got. So for day 9, you get your obligatory catapult, you know, it's nothing interesting. You just launch those little cylinder pieces by pushing down on this little launcher, and it'll launch them like that. It's for the Ewoks, I guess. Day 10, let's see what we got. Oh, it's stuck. Ah, there you go. Oh, look at that. So Stormtrooper they include is the new version, which appears in the Imperial Star Destroyer and Slave 1 from the last 2 years. And honestly, I really like that they included him in here because those two sets are really expensive. Again, the minifigure selection here so far are some really hard to get minifigures in this cheap, or sort of cheap set. So I do like that and I do appreciate that. His head underneath is just the angry clone face or Stormtrooper face or whatever the heck you want to call it. So day 11 is, oh, look at that, speaking of Imperial Star Destroyer, So here's the Imperial Star Destroyer. Pretty simple build, pretty recognizable, like how it came out. And yeah, not too much else here and not too unique, but you know, that's just it with these little micro builds. Day 12 is... Alright. And so what you got right here is just this little weapon rack. Kind of cool on how it came out. You have 3 different blasters. You have the short one, the mid-sized one, and then you have this really long one, which I don't see too often. So that's it for this little build. Now on to the next day. Day 13. Oh, look at that. So here's the SAS Android. It's in a dark gray color this time around, and I'm getting memories of that freaking Assassin's Droid battle pack I used to see everywhere that I never had any interest in back in like 2008. But that's really it for this guy. His head's a little bit off center, but that's okay. So that's it for the Assassin's Droid. Alright, day 14. Let's see what's in this sucker. Day 14 brings a Millennium Falcon mini build. It is a pretty simple build, and I didn't know what it was at first because the radar dish was kind of levitating in the building thing, and like half of it was like taken apart on little building instructions. But when I put it all together, I'm like, oh, duh, it's a Millennium Falcon. And honestly, out of all the vehicle mini builds, it's probably my favorite because it just captured it so well, but it's so simple. And then on the bottom, you can see it's all kind of levitating because that little one plate is a little bit farther down than any of the plates or pieces around here. So day 15 brings us a little mini shooter station, it looks like. So for the little shooting station, the whole thing can rotate in 360 degrees, and there's 2 stud shooters mounted on there. I guess you would just have to push down on these, and it will shoot the studs out like that. They give you a lot of extra studs just in case you lose any. Alright, for day 16, we got what looks to be a little mini A-Wing fighter. Alright, so for the A-Wing Starfighter little mini build, it's quite simple, and it's not too elaborate, of course, like all these micro builds. But, you know, I haven't seen too many A-Wing micro builds before, so I kind of like that. And, yeah, it's effective, but simple. Day 17. And another minifigure, yes! So here's the Hoth Rebel Trooper, and it's a version I don't recognize before, so I think it may be a new one, and this may be for that new UCS Hoth set. Now, he does have some nice gear on him, and he has kind of a white color to him. And once you take off the head, you can see he does have some nice back torso printing right there. So day 18 is a little ATAT. So here is the ATAT. I think this one's my favorite micro build now that I have it built, more so than the Millennium Falcon in this whole advent calendar. Now it does have 4 different legs which are on hinges, so you could kind of move them independently, which I do like. And you can make lots of different poses, and the head can move up and down if you'd like, but I mean, of course, the head would just kind of have to stay at the end like that to look more accurate. And that's it for this little build, and now on to the next day. Alright, day 19 is a little mini Death Star, it looks like. Crap, did I say Death Star? I meant mini little ion cannon. I didn't really get a good look at it when I opened up the day, but this actually has lots of rotation to it because it's all on kind of this bigger ball joint, as I call it. And that's basically where they have these 2 half dome pieces, and they have this big kind of cup right here. And you put them together, and it kind of makes like a ball joint. So you can rotate the laser around quite a bit. And it's all on this little platform right here, which is a little corner plate. And you got that nice laser shooting out. Day 20. Look at this. So day 20 is this little Probe Droid. You kind of move these little switches up and down if you'd like, and I like how it's kind of levitating by using these translucent pieces on the bottom. That's it for this little mini build. Day 21 is what seems to be another laser station. So right here you have this nice little printed piece. Then you have a little blaster, which is a stud shooter on the side, which of course if you push on that, it'll shoot the stud out. Yeah, not much else going on here, but still a cute little build. Day 22. Alright, look, it's a little reindeer R2-D2. So I think the reindeer R2-D2 is adorable. I like how they have that little piece from Ninjago, I think year 3, in a nice brown color. And the rest is just regular R2-D2, who still has some great printing on him. And of course you can move these little legs right here up and down to whatever way you want. It's actually been a while since I got an R2-D2 little figurine. Day 23, let's open this sucker up. And it's a little sleigh. Alright, so for the little sleigh build, I actually think this is really cute because what they have are these little lightsabers as kind of the sleigh blades, and the actual base is kind of basic, but still I like how they use those little lightsabers as just a little kind of blades, and on the bottom they have these reverse tiles that kind of keep it smooth, and you can kind of push it around if you'd like. And for day 24, and we got Santa C-3PO. Here is C-3PO. This is a special version because that torso is exclusive. I love how it came out. It's just a really cool kind of a little minifigure here. He also has a little red bag, which is also very awesome. And for his beard, actually, they give you 2 of those, and it fits on really well, like way better than I was expecting it to fit, because, you know, C-3PO doesn't have a normal minifigure head, but it slides on perfectly and it holds in place perfectly. But without the beard, you can see that little detailing on the torso, which looks fantastic. Here's my little setup for all these advent calendar stuff for this 2015 Star Wars one, and you can see it's just a cute little setup. And I like how they include that placemat all the time now to kind of display stuff on, because it's really fun to do that. So that's it for the builds, and now let's go on to the final verdict. So overall, this advent calendar is not bad at all. I think personally, I still like the Friends advent just a little bit better, because that one had, instead of micro builds, you know, they actually have like builds that you could use in your winter village and stuff like that. This one doesn't have much of that, and they have a lot of micro builds. But the selection in here and the amount of rare pieces they include is actually kind of good, because you got a lot of rare minifigures here. The Ewok right there, I don't know why I pointed to the Jawa. The Ewok came in the Ewok Village set. The Jawa came in the Sandcrawler set. And then this guy right here, I assume, will come in the Hoth direct-to-consumer set. So that's a direct-to-consumer minifigure from the past 3 years. So that's pretty good. And also, you got the little Stormtrooper that doesn't appear in too many cheap sets. And, of course, you got your exclusive Santa Christmas variants with C-3PO right here, who has that nice torso print. And it's just a cute build overall. Now, like I said, I wish there was less micro builds and more of location kind of based builds. Kind of like, I liked how the City one a few years ago had this little mini police station going on. I know the Friends one this year had a lot of location kind of builds. I don't know, I just wish they would kind of half it out instead of doing all these overwhelming amount of micro builds. So that's it for this review, and you guys can express your thoughts down below. I think I'd rate this at B+ overall, and I'll see you guys later.